Tapani, a 4-pitch pitcher with a deceptively good fastball. He'll get it up there in the 90s.
Had more batting support in the second half and finished with a 16-9 record. And a sharply hit ground ball up the middle, and Devon White is on, and you know that means that the Blue Jays can get their running game going immediately.
Now, you won't see Toronto's hitters
out to second, and the next hitter, Gruber, struck out. 1-0 the count. Widening the lead is White. There he goes. He gets a good jump. The pitch is taken for a strike. And in at second with a stolen base is Devon White. His first stolen base of the series. He had to hesitate a little bit to see whether the leg did come off. So the count to Alomar, 1-1, as he lays down a perfect sacrifice bunt. Paliarulo to Herbeck. And moving to third is Devon White. So Alomar does his job, and the Blue Jays have a runner at third and 1 out. No balls and 2 strikes to Carter with Olerud on deck. And a line drive to right field, base hit, and the Blue Jays have their first lead of the series as Carter drives in Devon White, and it's 1-0 Toronto here in the first inning. Here's Olerud, who was 2 for 4 and knocked in 2 runs last night. And there goes Carter, and the throw to second base. Carter is out. Perfect throw by Harper, but Knobloch had a hold on to the ball. Gagne, that is. Blue Jays playing aggressively here in the first inning. A stolen base. Carter caught stealing. This is a ground ball that Knobloch should handle, and that'll retire the side, but Toronto scores a run on 2 hits. Native of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic.
This pitch was a key pitch for the Twins. The key against Guzman is to lay off that high fastball.
Here's the 3-2. Low, not even close, and Gladden's aboard. Blue Jays lead 1-0. Swing and a miss, and Knobloch swings at a bad pitch outside the strike zone, and there's 1 away.
See, watch the front leg when it comes down.
And they try it here. Gladden goes. The pitch is taken, and the throw to second, safe. Tim Welke had signaled out, and then Manuel Lee could not hold on to the ball, and so it will go. It's in the dirt, ball 4. Fastball is popped up to the left side of the infield. Kelly Gruber in foul grounds makes the catch for the second out. Out on a fastball, and Guzman walks 2 and strikeouts 2, and the Twins leave a pair. And after 1 inning of play, it's the Blue Jays 1 and the Twins nothing. And Cito Gaston is hoping from some production from those last 4. Here's the 1-2 to Gruber. That goes flying, and he strikes out. First out here in the top of the second inning.
Went through the entire zone.
Rance Mullenix, the designated hitter, on deck for the Blue Jays. And he went around that time. 2 strikeouts here in the second inning and 2 down. Mookie Wilson, if Cito wants to make a change. They had Dave Parker down the stretch, but he wasn't eligible for postseason play. Mullenix hits a ground ball up the middle and a base hit. First hit of the series for Mullenix, and the 3rd hit of the game for the Blue Jays, who lead 1-0. So after going 0 for 17, one of the last 4 hitters in the Blue Jay lineup is on base safely. And there's another base hit to left field by Borders. Mullenix will stop at second. And Toronto staging a 2-out threat here in the second inning. And already Kevin Tapani, they managed to overcome recent history of problems down the stretch and survived in the East. Trying to advance to the World Series. Setting up outside, and that's where the pitch is. A fastball. And the third strikeout as Tapani strikes out the side, and the Blue Jays lead 2. We're in the middle of the second.
You have a bird in your hand. Look at Harper just feeling the bat handle.
Good inside pitch, mounted to third. Kelly Gruber's throw is high, and Olerud keeps his foot on the bag for the out. Meyer, and of course Candiotti, who pitched last night.
This is the second part of his theory.
Breaking ball is bounded to third. Gruber had to wait for the hop, guns it over in time, and there was that gun that Gruber has at third to nail Shane Mack for the second out here in the second inning. Scott Leyes and then Gene Larkin pinch it for Leyes, so 3 different third basemen for the Twins in game 1. Ground ball fair, and Olerud nearly trips, makes the play in a 1-2-3 inning. So Guzman settles down in the second inning, and after 2, it's the Blue Jays 1 and the Twins nothing. Kevin Tapani, 27-year-old native of Des Moines, Iowa. And a drive hit to left field. Gladden coming on over, tough play for him, and it's a fair ball and bounces into the stands for a ground rule double. Devon White using all of the field, and Gladden gave it a good run.
If the Twins anticipate a bunt, he's probably going to get a high fastball. He turned him loose, let him swing.
And a high chopper, that'll advance the runner. And the throw to first base. Safe at first. Pagliarulo fired it over there, but is on at first base. And Carter, who can drive him in. And a looping pop-up that's caught by the shortstop Gagne, and Tapani with a fine pitch jammed Carter, and that's the first out here in the third inning. Despite the fact that the Blue Jays have 6 hits, runners at second and third and 1 out. A big man here for Tapani. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Olerud becomes the 4th strikeout victim for Kevin Tapani. 2 outs.
Now we met.
Alomar and White the runners. And a broken bat looper into right field, a base hit. And rounding third and coming in, and the play at the plate, safe, is Roberto Alomar. White scores in front of him, and the Blue Jays, with 2 out, get 2 more runs, and now lead by a score of 3-0 as Gruber goes to second on the throw. Stolen base. Alomar, maybe the most valuable player on this club. It is another broken bat looper, and Knobloch handles it to retire the side. But the Blue Jays get 2 runs, and we'll return to the Metrodome after this message and a word from your local station. In the toughest division in baseball, with all those great pitchers that they had to face this year. Breaking ball is lifted into center field, and Gagne's aboard with a base hit. And that's the first hit of the game for the Minnesota Twins. Leadoff hit by Gagne. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball hit to shortstop. Lee touches second for the force, throws to first in the double play. Manuel Lee handles the sharp grounder by Gladden, and there are 2 down now. Nobody on base.
And the rest is pretty routine.
Chuck Knobloch with 2 out, and a base hit to the opposite field. You got a fastball up, and Knobloch, with his 3rd hit of the series, is aboard with 2 away. So the double play. In the dirt, and the ball gets by Pat Borders, and Knobloch will move on to second base. So the Twins get a runner in scoring position.
And a rare patient Puckett would.
3-2 pitch. And a chopper up the middle, base hit to center field. Knobloch rounds third and will score. And the Twins get their first run, now trailing 3-1, and Kirby Puckett finally gets a base hit. Gladden. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kent Hrbek. There goes the runner, and a drive hit to center field. Devon White is there, and he makes the catch. But the Twins get a run on 3 hits and lead 1. We have completed 3 in game 2 at the Metrodome. The Blue Jays lead the Twins 3-1.
To the plate, not that he's easy to hit. They know he throws a lot of strikes, always around the plate. And
there's a rare walk. Mullenix trots down to first in his career. And now we're looking at 68 career starts counting to date. Tapani has never walked more than 3 batters in a game, and he hit line drive to left. Ground ball to third. Paliarulo to second. The throw to first. They get the around the horn double play. Playing in at third base. Ground ball to the right side. Herbeck flips to Tapani, and that'll do it. In the middle of the 4th inning, Blue Jays over the Twins 3-1.
Bank of lights. You just cannot pick up the ball.
Fastball popped up to the left side of the infield in foul territory. Gruber is there, and there's one gone. Mack up third this inning, and there's one away here in the 4th inning.
This young man, he's more of a change-up pitcher, control pitcher.
Jammed him in a pop-up to Alomar, who signals off Carter, and Alomar made that catch in short right field. He was playing deep to begin with and got a good jump on it, and it was his play all the way. Normally the right fielder comes in. Two teams going from last to first in their respective divisions. Minnesota in the American League and the Braves in the National League. Chopper to shortstop Manuel Lee, and a 1-2-3 inning for Guzman. We've completed 4 here in Minnesota. 3-1 the score, Blue Jays. First time. I think when we look at the replay, we'll see the pitch right on the inside corner. Good pitch.
I see a hitter gives up.
3 hitters, and those are the danger hitters for the Blue Jays. Had 5 hits last night. They have 4 hits so far in this game this afternoon, so they've delivered. And there's a fly ball hit out to center field. Kirby Puckett signals that he's got it. You see the hand signal because you can't hear anything in the dome, and Alomar is retired. With runners at second and third, Carter popped up, missed an opportunity to cash in. And a looper out to the middle of the diamond, and Gagne makes the catch. And the first 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Tapani in the middle of the 5th inning.
A little bit more.
He hit .279 this year, his best season at the plate average-wise. Reaches out and hits a ground ball to Alomar. Throw to first in time. He makes it look so easy at second base, does Roberto Alomar.
Yeah, that's a deceptive thing about the Blue Jays. They're
with Mass. Singled his first time up and was erased on a double play. Gets a fastball and lifts it into the air to center field, where Devon White windmills everyone away and makes the catch for the second out here in the 5th inning.
It's like watching NFL coaches send in the plays watching this game. With
the play helped get the Blue Jays out of trouble, and Kirby Puckett with 2 outs singled home the only run, knocking in Knobloch. Fly ball to right field, and Carter is back on the warning track and makes it in front of the track for out number 3. So Guzman has retired 7 batters in a row. We've completed 5 with Guzman and the Blue Jays leading the Minnesota Twins. 8:30 Eastern Time Friday. Tonight, Game 1 in Pittsburgh. John Olerud hits a ground ball to Herbeck. Gets it over to Tapani. 1 away here in the 6th inning. Olerud is 0 for 3 this afternoon after knocking in 2 runs, and then comes back with Candiotti. Has his pitching pretty well in order.
That's how the emotions rise and fall in these series.
Ground ball, base hit, sharply hit to center field. So Kelly Gruber is 2 for 3 today and continues his fine hitting in this series in the first 2 games.
Yeah, he earned that hit because of the ability to handle the inside.
Consideration, and perhaps had the Blue Jays won last year, he might have gotten a nod. This year he was hampered with injury, and he was off on the pitch, and a bounding ball to third. Paliarulo's throw to first is in time, but by running, the Blue Jays stay out of the double play, and Maldonado's retired. There are 2 down, and Gruber's in scoring position. 4 twice today with a single and a walk. Grounds it right on the big hop to Herbeck, who will make the play to retire the side. There was a hit and a runner left in scoring position. We're in the middle of the 6th inning. The Blue Jays over the Twins still.
The other night, he was laid up for a day with food poisoning.
We'll have to watch that chair. Ball 4, and Knobloch draws a walk. Nobody warming up. Gaston coming out to settle down Guzman with Kirby Puckett. Nobody out. Ground ball hit to second base. Alomar chases down, safe. Out at first, and safe at second base is Knobloch. As Alomar first missed the tag on Knobloch. He gets a good fastball to hit and pops it up. Roberto Alomar signals everyone that he's got the ball, and he does, for out number 2. So Herbeck got the pitch he wanted from Guzman and pops it up, and there are 2 down to Chili Davis. They weren't taking any chances. Davis draws the walk. Runners now at first and second, so they'd rather pitch to Brian Harper than to Chili Davis. No surprise there. Tom Henke from their ace starter. Runners will be off. 3-2 and 2 out, and a ground ball, base hit to center field. Knobloch will score. Going to third is Davis, and it's a 3-2 game. Juan Guzman, third base. Brian Harper, who singled home a run at first. 2 down, and Shane Mack 0 for 2. And a one-hopper back to Henke, and it takes 1 pitch to end that threat. The Twins get a run and leave the tying run at third. And after 6 innings, the Blue Jays still lead, but it's now 3-2. The count to the Toronto catcher. Breaking ball. Paliarulo cuts in front of Gagne, and his throw is in time. 1 away here in the 7th inning for the Blue Jays. Ball 4, and Manuel Lee is on board. That is the second walk given up by Tapani, and it will bring up the top of the order in Devon White. Blue Jays at bay, leading by a run. Did not pitch for most of the month of Manuel Lee. Devon White, the runner at first base. 1 out, 3-2, and the Blue Jays are looking for breathing room here in the 7th inning. And a line drive to right field, and charging it is Mack, and it gets away from him momentarily. Lee will score. The throw to third base, and safe at third is Devon White, and holding it first with a single is Alomar.
Throw to first.
Here goes Alomar, and the pitch is hit in the air to left field. Dan Gladden is back. Tagging up at third is Devon White. He'll score as the throw comes into second base. And it is now 5-2 in favor of the Blue Jays, and they've cashed in here in the 7th inning. Not this time, and a ground ball off the glove of Guthrie, right to Gagne. The throw to first base, so Guthrie gets an assist, but the Blue Jays get 2 runs and lead at 5-2 as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning.
With Tom Henke throwing strikes, that's been the key after the long layoff because of tendonitis.
Swing and a miss on the fork ball, strike 3, and Paliarulo goes down. So Henke gets the first out here in the 7th inning.
They've never filled that DH role since then with a power threat.
Here's the 1-2 to Gagne. And he swings and misses for second strikeout here in the 7th inning. Record to 8 straight games that would tie a Major League postseason mark, trailing 5-2. Ground ball hit to second base. Alomar backhands it and throws out Glenn, and Henke has retired 4 batters he's faced. We go to the 8th. Ward's working, and it's 5-2 Jays. In 5 2/3 innings, now in the hands of Henke and Ward to follow. Kelly Gruber leading off. It's a drive deep to left field. Back though is Gladden, and he makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Gruber with 2 hits and 2 RBIs today in 4 trips. Mark Guthrie, the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Twins, and a check swing fly ball to left center field, but Gladden is there to make the catch. 2 chances for Gladden here in the 8th inning. 2 down. Told you about tonight's game 1 in the National League Championship Series. Pat Tabler is batting for Rance Mullenix in the designated hitter spot, making his first appearance in postseason. Swings at the first pitch and lifts it out to left field. And Dan Gladden ties a long-time record, handles all 3. Twins coming up in the last of the 8th, trailing by 3. Now on the mound, 81 games, led the American League in appearances, had 22 saves. Pretty good when you consider Henke at 32.
It's a tend to long arm the ball, have the heavy ball. The short, wristy guys have the light fastball.
Fastball line to right field, and Knobloch is aboard with a leadoff single here in the 8th inning. He has 4 hits in this series and leads the Minnesota Twins in that department. Walking an RBI. Minnesota crowd turns it up a notch, trailing 5-2 to the Blue Jays in the 8th. First pitch, fly ball deep to right center field, and Carter signals for it, makes the catch. Knobloch halfway goes back to first, and there's 1 gone. And Puckett, 7-game winning streak in postseason here at the Metrodome. 0-2 pitch, and he strikes out on 3 pitches with the breaking ball. Herbeck goes down, and quickly 2 out after Knobloch led off with a single.
Ward pitches like a lot of effective closers.
Leadoff hitter. Knobloch walk. Now they're away from the power of the lineup. Check swing. He went around, and a strikeout. So Dwayne Ward, after giving up a leadoff single, strikes out Herbeck and Davis to end the 8th inning. And the Blue Jays take a 5-2 lead into the top of the 9th inning. 7 no longer the case, that's for sure. There have been 34 hits in the 2 games thus far. Only 4 extra base hits. They've all been doubles. And a fly ball hit by Borders out to left field. Gladden has a play. And there's 1 gone. So very few extra base hits. Nearly 2 games complete in this series.
Be a lot of hitters sitting around and not active on the Blue Jays bench watching the action.
In the air to right field. Shane Mack. 2 out.
Talked about pitch counts earlier in the game, and Kevin Tapani left this one after throwing about 80, so he would be in position.
There's a guy, Tony Oliva, one of the greats. Fly ball to left field. Gladden's had a lot of chances. 5 of the last 6 outs have been made by Gladden in left field. But it's 5-2 Blue Jays, and the Twins come up for their last opportunity. And a check swing, roller. It's a fair ball, and Olerud is going to make the play at first base, and Harper never got out of the batter's box. A bad break for Brian Harper, but he's retired. Strike 3. Went with the breaking ball, and Larkin, the pinch hitter, strikes out, and the Twins are down to their last out. Strike 3, and the game is over, and Dwayne Ward shuts down the Twins in the 9th inning, 1-2-3, and the Blue Jays have defeated the Twins 5-2 and gain a split in the 2 games here at the Metrodome.